By now, you should be pretty confident on solving systems of equation with two variables. So let's try three. It's just going to be substitution and elimination, just a couple more steps, but I have faith in you. Let's solve some problems. All right, our first example, we've got our three equations. So I'm just going to take the first two, and we're going to use elimination to get rid of our y. I would pick the y because there's no coefficient in front of there. So it's just a little bit easier to work with that and, essentially less math. So we're going to come over here in green. So we've got 2x minus 6y plus 9z equals -8. So then if we take this one, and we're going to multiply that by 6. So I'm just going to put a little multiply by 6 right there. And that goes for the entire equation. So remember, it's the entire equation you multiply by 6. So 6 times 5 is 30 plus 6y, which is, here's why we multiplied by 6. And I lost my place. Plus 12z equals 60. So then we're going to use the process of elimination. We strategically picked to make sure that both of those signs are opposite, so they will drop out or get eliminated. So we're just going to add everything together. So then we've got 32x. Those cancel out to 0. And then 23z. And we're going to add those together. So -8 plus 60. So 72. And this, put a little plus there. So that is our new equation. So that's one of them. So we need a second one as well, but this time we have to use the third equation from over here. So we have to use that one right there. We're going to change colors just for fun. So these two equations, my color didn't change. These two equations, if we add those together, or we're going to combine them using elimination. And let's see here. I'll have space, it'll be fine. So let's see here. The top equation, we're going to leave it alone. 2x minus 6y plus 9z equals -8. So this third one down here, we're going to have to multiply that by 6 as well for the same reason we multiplied the first one by 6. So we want to get those y's to cancel out. So I'm going to put a little multiplied by 6 right there. So 6 times 3 is 18 plus 6y. 6 times 8 is -48. Right? Yeah, -48z equals, 6 times 28. I'm doing it on my calculator. 6 times 28 equals a -168. So then we are going to add those two together. Again, we strategically picked to make sure these signs were opposite. So we don't have to do anything else. We're just going to add. So we've got 20x. Our y's cancel out. And minus 39. So that's +9 plus or minus 48 equals -160. Oh, no, not at all. So I almost dropped a negative sign. But, so negative 8 minus 168 is going to be negative 176, right? Yeah. So now we've got our two different equations. We've got our equation right here. We've got our equation right there. So now from there, we'll go to our next color. All right, you'll see the screen has changed a little bit. This entire thing right here, you'll notice that I erased it. I completely did poor math there. So whatever I had earlier, that wasn't right. I made several errors. So we're starting over. So here we are. I've got my negative 8 and 60. And so that is going to be 52 equals 9 plus 12 is going to be 21z. Sorry, I'm just kind of working backwards. And then we've got 32x. Okay, so now we have our two equations, and I've double checked them, and they are correct. So we're going to take those two equations, and we are going to use those two equations to eliminate our z. So here we go down here. I'm going to rewrite them. 32x plus 21z equals 52. And then we've got 20x plus, oh, it's a negative, minus 39z equals negative 176. So now we want to combine those two equations to, we're just going to arbitrarily pick the x. So if we multiply this top by a 5, the reason I picked a 5 is if I take that 5 times that 2, that's going to give me a 0 at the end. And that 0 is right there. So the likelihood that it's divisible by that is, or that I can change this into something that is the same, is pretty high. So that's kind of why I picked the 5. So if I just multiply that out, we're going to have 160x plus 105z equals 52, no, equals 260. So now I've got this 160, and I'm thinking to myself, what do I multiply that 20 to get to that 160? So if I look at my calculator, if I take 160 divided by 20, we're going to get 8. So we're going to multiply this bottom equation by a negative 8. And I'm picking negative, so it'll get me this opposite, and that'll cancel out. So that's going to save us a little bit of work later on. So now a negative 8 times a negative 39 is a positive 312z equals a big number. So negative 8 times that is going to be 1668. So there's our two new equations. We're going to add them together. Our x's are going to cancel out. So then we're going to have 5 plus 2, 1, 4, z equals a big number. Actually, messed up again. That is not the right number. That number should be 1408. Sorry for the mistake. Anyway, when you add these two numbers, that's where you'll get the 1668. So then from there, you divide both sides by the 417. And then you will have z equals 4. Oh my gosh. Okay, now that we have that z equals 4, we can use that in any one of our other equations that we have to solve for a different variable. So we can, let's say, plug it into this equation. So I'm going to draw a little line there so that we know. And I guess it is time to switch colors. So when we plug z into that, we're going to have 32x. So I'll just put my little orange thing. So hopefully we remember that that's our orange. Plus 21 times 4 equals 52. So at that point, we're just going to solve, right? We're just solving. So our 32x plus 21 times 4 is 84 equals 52. Move the 84 over. 52 minus 84. So we've got 32x equals negative 32. And then we divide both sides by our 32. So now we have x equals a negative 1. Okay, we've got our x and our z. We need one more variable. So we're going to plug our x and our z into any one of the other equations. I'm coming back up here to the top and just picking one of these easier ones. So let's do that one. So I guess we'll do it in this little space right here. So we've got our 5 times negative 1 plus y plus 2 times 4 equals 10. So then to finish solving that, again, we just solve normally. So we've got negative 5 plus y plus 8 equals 10. So then we move the 8 to both sides, or to the other side. We move the 5 to the other side. So we're going to have y equals 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So y equals 7. So there we go. We've got all three of our answers using a system of 3 equations. So the trick to these things is stay organized. You have to stay organized. You have to keep track. If you've got like that chicken scratch kind of stuff going on, slow down and just keep your thoughts and keep your notes organized, because you're going to go back to them over and over again. So that's my advice to you, and let's try again. Okay, our next one, again, same process. We're just going to use elimination over and over and over again until we get all of our variables. So we'll just start with our first two, just to kind of go along with the process up top in the top of the notes. We'll call this our A equation, and then we'll do this one. We'll call that our B equation, but I'm going to change colors for that. So our A equation, we've got, conveniently enough, we've got a Z and a Z. They, A, already match, and B, they're opposite signs. So we just have to combine those two, and we're going to be in business. So our A equation is going to look like 4x plus y. I'm just rewriting everything. 3z equals 45. 6x minus 4y plus 3z equals 41. So then we're going to add those together. Our z's are going to cancel out. 6 plus 4, we've got 10x. Y minus 4 is minus 3y equals 4. No, not 4. I thought that was subtraction for some whatever reason. 86. Slightly different, sorry. So when we combine these, we're trying to get rid of our z's. So our top is going to have to be multiplied by 11, and then our bottom by 3. So that will get our z's to equal 33. So our new equations is going to look like 66x minus 44y plus 33z equals, I don't know that off the top of my head, 41 times 11, 451. So then our bottom equation is going to be 6x minus 21y minus 33z equals whatever 85 times 3 is. That is 255. So now we're just going to add those, and away we go. So 66 plus 6, 72x. 44 minus 21 minus, let's see, that's 5, 6, y, 65y. Those cancel out, thank goodness. Gives me a little bit of room. And then 451 plus 255 equals 706. So now we have our two new equations that we can combine to get rid of another variable. So there's our two new equations that we are going to combine to get rid of. So right now I'm just kind of thinking. Again, there's nothing really easy that jumps out at me. So we'll just run with x's, because why not? So here we are with our next equation. I don't know why I put a dot, but whatever. So we've got a 10 and a 72. So I'm just going to rewrite our equations. Equals 86. Then we've got 72x minus 65y equals 706. Oh, so let's see here. So there's a 10 up here. So we just got to get this bottom number to have a 0 at the end of it. And looks like 5 will do that for us. So let's just, we'll multiply the bottom by 5. So then we've got 72 times 5. So then we've got 360x minus 65 times 5. 325y equals 706 times 5. Some absurdly big number. 3530. Okay, so then our top one, we're going to multiply this one. Since I forgot to do a negative down here, so we can just do a negative 36. Oh, geez. Negative 36 up here. And that's just so that our signs are going to be opposite. So we're going to have negative 360x plus 36 times 3, 108y equals 86 times negative 36 is a negative 3096. So then from there, we're just going to combine everything or add them. Our x's cancel out. So now we have 108 minus 325 negative 217y equals negative 3096 plus 3530 equals 434. Divide both sides by negative 217. Divided by negative 217. So we get y equals negative 2. That's our first variable. So we've got our first variable, so now we got to plug that into something and solve it. I'm going to plug it into this guy because that just looks easier. So we're going to have 10x minus 3 negative 2 equals 86. So then we've got, that is a plus 6. Oh, shoot. Equals 88. We'll subtract 6 from both sides. 10x equals, that was an 86. Minus 6 from both sides, we got 80. X equals 8. We are well on our way. And last but not least, we need to plug our x and our y into one of our other equations. So, I don't know, they all look kind of crazy. So I'm going to do that one. So that means that we have 4 times 8 plus, what was our y? Negative 2 minus 3, and we're solving for z, equals 45. Okay, so 4 times 8 is 32 minus 2 minus 3z equals 45. So then we got 30 minus 3z equals 45. So we're going to subtract 30 from both sides. I need to find more room. So now we're going to have, negative 3z equals 15. Z equals negative 5. So then we're just going to divide both sides by negative 3. So there we go. Z equals negative 5. Done. You did it. Another one down. All right, our next example, we're going to follow the same process. We're going to use elimination to get rid of each variable individually. So we're going to start with these two. The reason I want to start with that is we've got this z right there, so I'm going to use that a lot. That z, because it doesn't have a variable inside of it, a coefficient, it'll be a little bit easier for us to multiply that to get it to equal the numbers that we want. So that's our A equation, our first one, and then A. So then our B is going to be this one, be these two. So again, we're going to use that z, and we're just going to make it equal that 4 for the second one. So let's start off with our A. We are going to have 5x minus 3y plus 8z equals negative 59. And then we're just going to bring the second equation over. equals negative 60. So we're going to multiply this bottom equation by 8, because that will give us a negative 8 right there, which will allow us to eliminate our whatever. So that means we're going to have 5x. I'm just rewriting the top one. Then we're going to have 8 times 9. Yep, it's that kind of day that I forgot that. 8 times 9 is 72x. 8 times negative 4 is 32. 8 times negative z is the negative 8. And then 8 times 60 is negative 480. So now we're just going to add everything together. And then we're going to get 77x minus 35y. These guys cancel out. Equals, I don't even want to try. Negative 539. Yeah, great. So that's our first equation. All right, so for our second equation, we're going to use our middle equation and our bottom equation for our B equation, if you will. So I've already rewritten them. That's all I did is rewrote them. Here's the second equation. Here's the third one. So we need those z's to cancel out. So we're going to multiply this, what is now the top one, by 4, and that will get us where we want to go. So we've got 4 times 9 is 36. X minus 4 times 4 is 816. Y minus 4z equals a negative 32. 320. 220. I quit. 60 times 4. 240. Negative 240. And the bottom equation stays the same. So at this point, we are just going to cheat. And from there, we are going to just combine everything, and then we'll be good to go. So 36x plus 5 is, that one I can do in my head, 41x, let's see here, minus negative 16y plus 2y is negative 14y. Z's cancel out, thank goodness. And that equals negative 240 minus 47, negative 287. So there is our second equation. All right, so we've got our two new equations that we're going to use to get our x's or our y's out of the way. So I'm going to pick the y's, and I'm going to tell you why. Get it? So we've got a negative 35. So I like dealing with fives. I think it can give me an idea of what to do with that equation. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to eliminate the y's on this. So to get us started, I'm kind of guessing right now, but let's go ahead and multiply this equation by 5. So we'll make that right here in the middle. So 5 times 41. So we're going to have 205x minus 5 times 14, 70y equals 5 times negative 287 is a big ol' number. So, okay, we've got 70y, and it turns out if we divide that 70 by 35, I think that's like, what, 2? Yeah, so that means that we can multiply this by 2, and we're going to make that a negative 2, just to switch that sign, and that will eliminate the y's for us. So if we take 77 times negative 2, we're going to have negative 154x plus 70y equals negative 539 times negative 2, 1078. Y's are going to cancel out. We're going to add these together. 205 minus 154, 51x equals 1435. That's a negative sign, times negative 1. So negative 1435 plus 1078 is equal to negative 357. Divide that by 51. We get x equals negative 7. How exciting. Okay, we've got our x equals negative 7, so we're going to plug that back in to, I guess we can just pick an equation, can't we? So let's pick that one, I guess. Why not? It really doesn't matter. So 41 times negative 7 minus 14y equals a number. So when I said it doesn't matter, it does a little bit. You want to pick an equation that only has 2 variables so that you can solve for another one. So if you were to plug that x back into one of these guys up here, it wouldn't work just yet. So anyway, 41 times negative 7, negative 287 minus 14y equals negative 287. Oh, that's interesting. So we'll add 287 to both sides. So then we're going to have negative 14y equals 0. Divide both sides by negative 14. Y equals 0. Done. Not done. Totally not done, because we still have a third variable we have to deal with. So we have x equals negative 7, y equals 0. And so now we just need to plug all of those back in to one of these equations up here, and then we can finish this off. So, I don't know, middle one? Let's do that. So if we go here, we've got 9 times negative 7 minus 4, what is our y? Times 0, convenient, minus z equals negative 60. That's 0. 9 times 7 is 63. Yeah, see, I knew that. Negative 63 minus z equals negative 60. So we're going to add 63 to both sides. So we're going to have negative z equals 3. Z equals -3. There we go. Done. Z equals -3. So our actual answer, we should have been doing this the whole time, but it's not that big of a deal as long as you highlight or circle your answers. I don't care that much. But to put them in an ordered pair, -7, our y's go in the middle, 0, -3. This is our officially correct answer. All right, these last two problems, I want you to try by yourself, see if you can figure them out. I'll go ahead and give you the final answers. The x is going to be 2, y is going to be -2, and 9. That's number 4. And then for number 5, your answer is going to be 5, -2, 3. So try this out yourself. See if you can get to that answer. Again, just keep your things, your notes organized and remember where things are going, and it should be fine. It's not like don't be too afraid of it just because it's multiple steps. So good luck. I'll see you in class.